daddies, metal daddies, metal daddies, metal daddies.
Welcome back to Death Metal Daddies. My name is Jeff,
I'm Silas.
and welcome back to another week with us where we're talking about fatherhood, getting older, and metal in general.
Everything important.
Yes, the only things that really matter in life anymore. Um,
Right.
yeah, it's been a big week for music, even some metal news as opposed to last time. We actually have some more stuff, a lot of stuff to talk about. Before we even get into all that, Silas, please tell me, how's your week been? What you been up to?
Dude, I watched Nosferatu last night and it was so sick.
Was it good? I want to see it
Yeah,
so
it was
bad.
awesome, dude. Oh man,
Ah,
it is. So it's my favorite um, of the films that dude's done, like in the recent years. Out of The Witch, Lighthouse, this one, this one takes the top, dude. And I mean, I feel like this guy is just, I don't know, like kind of becoming the next like Quentin Tarantino or like the Tarantino of horror. Like he's just, I mean, it's a masterpiece, dude, honestly. Like I cannot hype this movie up enough. Like you gotta see it, man. You gotta see it. It's so
I want
good.
to see it so bad because I do love just about all the movies
How,
he's made.
how about we stop right now and you go watch it and then we pick up right after.
Yes, 2 hours later, I've gotta go in the bedroom, say Dan, hey, what are you watching? Not important. We're putting on
Yeah.
Nosferatu.
Right. Sorry, Jensen. No Coco Melon. It's Nosferatu time.
You're old enough to see this now.
Yeah. Oh, and it's like it's horrifying. Like it's brutal. Like kids, no way can they be in the same room. So I like I had the went into the living room and it was like everyone was passed out and I just see the remote or Lex was just like, you could change it, and it was like on a cartoon. I was like, oh, absolutely. And so I was just scrolling Nosferatu. I was like, fuck yeah. Had to watch it, dude. It was awesome. And I the whole time I didn't even know that what's his name?
Bill Skarsgård.
Skarsgård, yeah. I didn't even know he was Nosferatu. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy, man. Sorry. If I keep talking, I'm gonna start leaking spoils and stuff. So,
Yeah,
but
I've been wanting to see that. I keep debating on whether or not to pay the money to watch it on Amazon Prime, but I want to see it so bad because I love all his movies. Is my favorite so far.
do you have
Lighthouse I
Peacock?
liked. Yeah, is it on Peacock?
Yeah, it's on Peacock. Yeah,
Ah,
that's where I
this
watched
whole
it.
time.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah, it's on Peacock.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. Like I couldn't believe it. I expected it to be on like Paramount or one of the more bigger ones, like maybe Hulu. I don't know, but yeah, Peacock. And that's kind of one of my favorite streaming services, honestly. Like Paramount Plus, I feel like I'm kind of getting gypped. It's like $16 now, and I hardly ever watch it.
Oh,
Which one do you use the most?
it all depends. We still use Netflix a lot. I don't know. It just depends on what we're wanting to watch.
That's
Because I don't
true.
really
I
have
guess it
too much
depends on like,
control.
yeah.
For me, whenever I have my choice, I usually go straight to Prime. But I don't know. I just kind of venture out. Usually, we'll watch Netflix for like How I Met Your Mother and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Hulu
Hmm.
for like New Girl and Abbott Elementary. And then the kids just kind of run wild. They like Paramount Plus. We have Peacock.
Yeah.
I just don't watch that often. But we get Paramount
Yeah.
Plus for free with Walmart Plus, which we have that
Oh,
for
okay.
free because of American Express. So
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
it's a
more
chain
of
of
a
free stuff.
yeah. If it's a bundle, it's definitely probably more worth it that way.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think if I'm gonna drop one, it's probably gonna be Paramount
Yeah.
because I guess I was watching it for football, but
Yeah.
since then it's just kind of went in and out. It's like kind of getting annoying, man. Now I gotta find what games on what streaming service. It's a weekly deal.
Yeah.
Did that annoy you? Like I thought that was a major pain in the ass this year.
In all honesty, I like it better because I'm so used to not having cable. So for me, it was easier,
Uh-huh.
like, because I have all these streaming services. I just need to figure out which one it's on. Uh, if it was on a streaming service, because most of the time it'd be like, it's on Fox, it's on CBS. Like, well, I don't have those things. Um, so for me, it's a little bit easier, but
Right.
I understand where the frustration comes from. Because I want to say they even, there's a lawsuit, I want to say, because, people were already paying for like NFL ticket, but for some reason they also had to pay for these other streaming services, especially like bars and like places where they show these things and they pay for this stuff
Oh,
for
right.
patrons to come in. So they sued the NFL's like, how are you going to squeeze this for even more money when you guys are,
Yeah, no shit.
which is, it is just a money grab. You're just,
Yeah,
Netflix is paying you so they can charge people to get more streaming services. I think that part is greedy and dumb, but
no shit. Well, and then like, I mean, especially, damn it, I was right there. Oh my gosh, come on. Oh, I guess I was just, sorry, sorry, man. I was just gonna say that's like the convenience of cable, you know? That's
mhm.
where cable can actually make a comeback and defeat streaming because it was so much easier just hitting the guide, switching the channel for a game or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Now, if you want to swap back and forth the games, you almost got to switch apps. Like, I remember bouncing back and forth between Peacock and Paramount. But yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have the issue because I'm an out of network fan of a team. So it's
Hmm.
hard for me to even watch the team I
Oh
want to
yeah,
watch.
true. I guess if you had like one of those NFL channel packages or some shit, you could
But
probably
that's
do
the
it then.
thing. Do I want to spend like $400 just to watch it, like
Yeah,
10 more games of the Broncos if they're not in prime time or not playing the Chiefs? And
yeah.
that's what I kind of
And
wish they
with
would
how
do.
they're playing.
They're getting better. They were made the playoffs.
Okay.
But
I'm kidding.
I do wish just sports, uh, professional sports organizations in general. I wish they would do a package to where if you are an out of network fan, instead of buying that whole like $400 package, make it to where I just pay a lesser amount and I can only have access to those teams' games.
Hmm.
That's all I want. I don't want
Yeah.
to watch every single NFL game. I don't want to watch the
Right.
Bucks versus the Jets. I don't want to see the Giants versus the Packers. I don't care about all that. I just want to watch my team. I'm tired of
Yeah.
having to go to illegal streaming services to find these
Yeah.
things.
And then you always hear like it's like in a different language. It's like from another country. Like, so it's just like, why is this happening? But, um, it, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's this guy at work that I've talked to and he was telling me about how he just watched the rerun of the Super Bowl again. He's just like, yeah, all disappointed because he's a Chiefs fan. I'm just like, why? Why'd you sit through that again, man? Like, you definitely didn't have to do it. So but he's told me, he's watched games like repeatedly. Like, I've never watched a game like more
No,
than once. I don't.
no.
That's just something I'm not going to do. I don't. I like the highlights, but I think the ESPN dudes they do a well enough job at that. So it's like I don't know. I don't really need to see the whole thing again. But
Yeah.
some
Yeah, if
people do,
it's
I guess. I don't know.
yeah, it's I even if I didn't watch the game, if the game's over, I just want to watch the highlights because if I already know the score, I don't need to see how they
Yeah.
built up to that. I want to see like what were the big plays, what were the players that did this, and stuff like that. I don't need to sit there and watch every game. Like the only time I can see that making sense is if you're like an analyst and you're trying to like write down the stats and stuff like that. But I'm an average Joe. None of
Yeah.
that matters to me.
Yeah. I don't know. And I mean, to like about watching other teams too, I kind of like to scope them out just to see like the difference in playing styles is cool. But like then you discover the teams you hate and like just one thing about the Eagles, man, is the fucking tush push. Like I just think it's such a bullshit move. I will always bitch about that.
I'll watch a couple
But
every now and then, but I think it just depends on the teams. Like if I know it's going to be a good game, like if it was a regular season Bills versus Ravens or like the juggernaut teams, because like you said, you also there's your team, but you want to see how some of the bigger teams like what's their play style and stuff like that. What's working for them? What are things that you think might be good on your team, but you see it's better on their teams? Like, all right, what are they doing better? Where do we need to improve and stuff like that? Because I've always had to have that for the past 10 years. Like, what do real teams look like for me? So,
Yeah. Yeah, man. Damn. Yeah, I don't
yeah.
know. It's going to be an interesting year. I mean, Chiefs have pretty much gotten rid of most of the team at this point, it seems like.
Well, I was
So,
wanting to bring up because I saw that the Mahomes restructured his contract again. So you guys are pushing more and more of his salary to the future for you guys to have to pay even more in the
oh
future.
wow.
Because
Oh
like he was
shit.
supposed to make 60 something this year, 60 million, and he's now getting 28 million for you guys to have an extra like 40. So you guys sign a couple more people, and now you guys have I think 15 million left in cap. But that means next year Mahomes gets 78 million. The year after that he gets
Oh
74
my
million.
gosh. Oh geez.
You guys are
I
kicking this can
wonder.
down the road.
Yeah, I mean, they probably didn't think that one through, but surely they got to be making the money somewhere off that, right? You know, ticket prices were probably soaring. I mean, they're probably not going to be as high this year, but
I don't know. I worry
I
more
don't know.
about cap because, and that's the thing is like, I understand you might do that if you're like the three-peat year makes sense because you're trying to
Mm,
push to something like make history. Why are you doing that now?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Mahomes definitely has good years left, but now it's like we don't really have legacy members. I mean, Kelsey's probably got one more year, and that's it, I'd say.
Yeah,
So it just seems like he's just going to be running the show. Like, I don't know. But
be interesting to see. Yeah, did you do anything else this
yeah.
week?
Um, let's see. Listen to some tunes. Still waiting on my truck in the shop, man. I'm getting anxious for that to get it back. Just a lot of work. Um, getting to have like a shop built or scoping out some like I talked to a guy about building a platform for a shop. So that's hopefully going to happen. He's got to get back with me tomorrow just to see if the city has to allow any permits and shit like that. But so that's pretty exciting because we definitely need the storage. You know, I want somewhere like an enclosure that I can work on the truck. I'm tired of doing it in the driveway. It's a pain in
Hmm.
the ass. Sucks working on that in the elements, dude.
Yeah.
But so hopefully that'll happen. Um, but yeah, so nothing too exciting, man. What about you?
Not too much. I mean, biggest thing was just the pain in the ass of so I don't know if you guys have been having these giant windstorms or not, but it's been pretty bad
Oh
where I'm
yeah,
at,
dude.
especially since we're high
Oh,
up on
ridiculous.
a hill to where it destroyed the chicken coop, like the metal shed that they were in.
Oh
Like it's
shit.
like fully like all four walls are like apart on the ground. So the chickens are just kind of free roaming right now. But I mean they're fine. They
Oh
still stick
man.
around. They started laying eggs, so that was cool. Um, but
Are they just
the
like laying them like out in the yard and stuff now, or
yeah, well, we found
oh,
three of them in the. We have a like a wagon for Theo in the garage. That's where they
uh-huh.
first found him was in this wagon. Just a
Oh
couple eggs
shit.
hanging out, and then found one in like this mini coop we have that we first got. But yeah, past weekend I was trying to. So I had an idea to where I was going to buy a bunch of wood and I was gonna like build
Hmm.
a frame for the chicken coop and put the metal back on it, screw it together so it's actually more stable.
It's like
Because really, it
a
was
structure. Yeah.
yeah, so it's more stable because originally it was just a bunch of like cheap, thin metal with a small metal frame, very thin,
Oh
so it's
right.
easy folded like a wet paper bag. So I thought if I had like
Yeah.
strong wood, thick wood, it will be better. However, I also bought
Oh, for
cheap
sure.
wood, the cheapest that they had at Lowe's.
Oh
So
man, so it.
it's, I got so pissed multiple times. I threw the wood down sometimes because my plan was to build the, uh, four, like just four planks over here, four planks over here, take it down to
uh,
there, and then put the, connector parts. But every time I would like pick a side up, it would fall apart. Oh, I was getting so pissed. I eventually got it
oh,
to where it's actually strong and sturdy. And that was another
nice.
issue. I kept it's like, oh, I don't have enough wood. Wait another day, go get more wood. And then I got ready for it all, got sawed things up, and then I was like, where the fuck did all my wood nails go? Because I had a whole tub of it when I lived at Jeff City. Can't find it.
Uh-huh.
Well, got to go back to the store again to get more wood nails.
Oh, it
And
sucks.
it was
Yeah,
just a frustrating process, but now it's finally come together. I built a strong enough sides. Now I'm going to get actual like uh the thick wood as the connectors. So it's coming
nice.
together. It's just finding time now since I'm going to be working because this is day 2 of a month long of no days off. So fun times.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's tough, dude. That is very tough. Um, hey, at least you got the nails. I mean, for next
Yep.
time. So,
I actually might need more
no,
because
but dude,
some got destroyed from the frustration and everything breaking.
you just like bending nails, motherfucker. Well, dude, that reminds me. Like, I was breaking down these pallets at work, and because you like see all the fun projects and shit that all the DIY stuff
Mm-hmm.
people post online. Oh, this is so easy. I just made this out of
Mm-hmm.
pallet wood. Yeah, I just took my saw, chopped this in half right here. No, bullshit, you didn't, dude. Like I've done this with like 2 pallets now, and I go to like saw the wood, and then just a whole fucking split just like goes right up and down the fucking long plank. I'm like, okay, that's ruined. No point
Yep.
in no point in taking this off now. Like at first I was like trying to pry it from the nails, and like if you're breaking down an old pallet, dude, the nails are rusty. Like that shit is not like prying off. And so you just pry it, split up and down the whole thing. I'm just like, fuck, this is so stupid. I don't know what these people are like doing with these pallets, but I think they're like being made specifically to just,
Yeah.
design shit with. And yeah, I don't know. So yeah, send us your best pallet DIYs and prove me wrong, because I think most of those are full shit. I
Yeah, I
mean,
think
they
most of
seem
those
cool though.
DIYs are.
Yeah. But man, like some of them, they make look so good. They're just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it's fucking easy, 15-minute job right here. And it's just like fucking a whole deck plant, that you could just sit on and everything. It's like, yeah, it's crazy. But I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, I was actually having a lot of that wood splitting issues, especially since I figured it would be easy. Like you just because I just took the because I didn't buy brackets because like the little metal things because at Lowe's
Mm-hmm.
it's like $3 for one corner. It's like I don't want to spend that much, so I just took the wood this way, put it this way, and put the nails in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure enough, that would split the wood. I don't know.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I feel like you used to be able to do that, and it was fine. But I don't know, man. I mean,
Well, I think it was
I'm
also
also
because I
not.
bought the cheapest wood.
Yeah, that could be. Like pine, I'm pretty sure is like what the pallets are made of, and that is a really shitty wood, especially for like
Well,
building material.
well, also the ones I bought were labeled studs. So I don't think they were meant for like the type of screwing in that like down the middle. It's more of like straight on, like on the end,
Oh,
like
okay.
in the actual body instead of at the actual ends.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's my only thinking because it was literally the cheapest wood that of the
Yeah.
type of wood of what I was looking for.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean that wind was crazy though. I mean,
Oh
there was
yeah.
fucking branches everywhere at work. I've just been picking up sticks fucking nonstop this week. It's been a real pain in the ass. And then like all of our pool equipment, I have like 6 pools that I'm covering, and like each one has its own section of furniture that I covered with the tarp. Because used to, like they would like want me to haul it to this back platform all the way at the back of the property on this like concrete pad. just set it there. And I'm just like, we just need to leave it there and cover it. It makes so much more sense because like I spent days just hauling furniture. It was so ridiculous. In like a pickup with like a friggin' 8-foot bed. It's so ridiculous. But yeah, so anyways, yeah, the wind was nuts though, man. I mean, branches everywhere, fucking big branches snapping and shit too. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, basketball goal fell over about a foot from my car. So
Oh
that
damn.
was a little scary. Also,
That's scary.
I don't know if it was technically a tornado. It sounded like it, and also it's the only way it makes sense that maybe we had a mini one. But we have this chicken run, which is just like a kind of like a giant cage. It's like
Mm-hmm.
12 feet long. Uh, Woke up that next morning, and it was all the way down to like I want to say about 40 feet, like just on its side. The wind
Oh,
picked it up and blew it, which doesn't make sense because it's literally a cage. Like, what is the
that's
resistance
crazy.
grabbing onto? Except the only thing I can think of is I have a tarp over top of it and like tied
Oh
to it.
shit.
It's the only thing I
Yeah,
can think
sorry.
of.
So yeah, flying winds, chicken coops in the wind. Sounds like a country song. Chicken
Yeah,
coops in the wind.
yeah.
Um,
Uh, that's it for my
Crazy
week.
shit though, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it was a crazy time. But you know what? We're recovering. Eventually, I'll get everything fixed.
for
Uh,
sure.
but in the meantime, are you ready to talk about this new week of new releases and all the awesome
Um,
albums?
What are you guys listening to?
Weekly playlist.
Weekly playlist.
Weekly playlist. Weekly.
yeah, I am.
All right.
What are you listening to?
New week of new music. And this was a doozy. This is a lot of albums we've been anticipating. And in all honesty, after listening to a lot of this, I feel like there's also a lot of end of the year stuff on this playlist. If it's not album of the year list, if it probably be like best bassist on here, best album art, or best vocals. So there's a lot to unpack in this week's playlist, I feel. But
Definitely.
let's first start off with some singles because there's not a lot of singles on this one. I only put 3. Let's start off with the new single by Nine Dead with their new single "Drowning."
Ooh,
This was the last thing I listened to
dude.
on this playlist, and it was fucking sick. What'd you think of this one?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, this is badass. Like, and I got so excited when I heard it because it is literally like he's on par with the Mitch Lucker High Scream,
Mm-hmm.
dude. Like, and if you're a fan of the Mitch Lucker Suicide Silence days, check this song out, dude, because it does not disappoint. And I feel like that connection is very, just there in the sound. So, but really cool, man. And a different growl, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just their thing. So I don't know. I've never listened to this band, but yeah, absolutely badass song, dude.
Hell
Super
yeah.
sick.
Yeah, the high vocals, that's probably some of the highest I've heard in a long time. And also the
Yeah.
brutal ass breakdown near the end. Holy shit,
Oh,
this was
yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Super sick.
that's the new song by Nine Dead called "Drowning."
It was very like reinvigorating my admiration for deathcore.
Oh yeah.
I just feel like it's very refreshing.
Mhm.
Even though there's obviously Mitch Lucker influence in there. I mean, I think there's got to be for him to sound like that. I don't want to just, obviously pin him to that sound, whatever. But I think it's badass. I think it's done
Mhm.
really well, man. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's some of my favorite high screams I've heard in a long time. So yeah,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully this is
Super
building
sick,
to a
though.
whole new album because I would love to hear more of this because that was
Oh,
awesome.
that'd be super sick. Yeah, man.
Up next we have the new single from the UK metalcore act Malevolence with their new single If It's All the Same to You, which it also looks like a Ellerin Cantor album art. I think I've already used them a couple times. Looks like that's what this is a little bit. Um, I don't know. This band is kind of hit and miss with me. I don't mind them too much. Never some I've been super into. I do like this song. Even the cleans are a little odd for me. I feel like it's not the typical like super clean, almost like a tough guy whiskey soaked uh kind of cleans. I don't mind it too much.
Yeah.
Not my favorite, but I can get used to it better than other stuff. What did you think of this song?
Yeah, it's super sick, man. I dug it. I don't really remember listening to him before, so but I liked what I was hearing. Yeah, it's kind of
Mhm.
like I was thinking of a band, but I don't know that it's damn. I just had it. I don't know. Yeah, it's super fun though. Very riffy. Almost kind of like psychroptic technicalities. It sounds like,
Mhm.
but super badass, man. Yeah. I guess they're from UK.
Yeah, I want to say from the UK, mate.
Good day, mate.
Just
Nice.
them 11s, boys.
Oh, and this is from an upcoming release called "Where Only the Truth Is Spoken." I don't know. I think that might be going to Australia. Um, yeah, cool though. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Looks like they have another song out called "Trenches."
Oh, okay. I guess I missed that
Um,
one.
yeah, yeah, I guess I did too. Yeah, this does kind of look like Illyrain Cantor, huh?
Hmm. And I want to say he did their last one's album art, which was very cool. I really liked like the deep underwater blue colors and kind of greenish. I just love
Oh, I gotta
Outlining
check it out.
Cantor's album art. He does great
I
stuff.
do too. Oh yeah, man. Gosh, that's such a great picture. That album's called Malicious Intent.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's like a guy, he's drowning and he's almost like it looks like he's trying to he captures emotion really well, like or the emotion in the facials and stuff. Like
Hmm.
it amazes me. It's like panic underwater, like can't get through, drowning type shit. Really cool.
Hell
It's
yeah.
very like maliciously intentish. So yeah, very tight.
Last single we have for this week is by Caliban featuring Joe Bad from Fit for an Autopsy with their new single Dear Suffering.
Mm.
This one was okay. I wasn't super into it. It's okay. What was your thoughts on this one?
I heard a glimpse of it, but I don't think I listened to all of it. And I actually seen it in a reel. I meant to listen to it, but this was actually the one I did not. So,
I gotcha. Yeah, it's okay. I feel like Caliban is, I don't know. I was really into him for a short minute. But
mhm.
they haven't really ever recaptivated me like they did when I first found them. I don't know. It feels very run of the mill. I'm glad that because I know they also incorporate cleans a lot. Glad they didn't do it in this song, but still, I don't think it was enough to make it super memorable. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do. Because
Caliban's like they're one of those bands that I was always kind of waiting to like run into at a show, like be on a bill. And I always felt like I was just going to catch them then for some reason. Like, I'd heard songs here and there, never delved their discography, but like I never ended up seeing them at a show. So
yeah,
like I just felt like they always kind of flew under my radar. It's just like, I know they're big though. Like, don't they
yeah.
have a pretty big following?
I think so. I don't know if they tour America at all. Though is the thing because I like you. I don't think I've ever seen them actually like on a bill in America. I know they're from Germany and they're good friends with Heaven Shall Burn, but I want to say it's kind
Oh,
of the same thing
okay.
with them because I don't see them tour America either a lot. So I don't know if maybe it's just they're sticking in their comfort zone and kind of the cheaper thing for them to do of just touring the Europe area. I don't know.
Hmm.
But I do feel like it maybe would be better to get more into them because I can't get fully into them right now, but I think it would be better if I saw them to get fully
Yeah.
understand of what they're trying to do. Because the songs I do like doesn't really seem to fit with all the other. It's like listening to Welcome Home by Cody and Cambria and been loving it, and then trying to check out
Yeah.
the other stuff. Is like, nah, it's not the same.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm sure they have like a prime era time that their fans like think is their best albums and shit. So, I don't know. Be interesting to scope. But.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for the singles. Didn't have many on here. I do have one EP, and that is the return of Deathcore stalwarts. I wouldn't say legends, but they're a pretty big staple in the early Deathcore period, and that is the return of Molotov Solution with their new EP Void. What did you think of this one?
I thought it was good, man. I was into this band like in the high school days, pretty hardcore, but I never have been since. I don't know. I kind of fell off. And I was interested to see what this was going to sound like, but really, man, I think they brought the same thing back. Like they did a really good job of bringing back their traditional sound, like the kind of, overthrow tyranny influence kind of lyrics that they always kind of have a trend with. So, yeah, man, I thought it was cool. I think it was pretty cool to hear some new sounds in that same style. But yeah, man, what'd you think of it?
I did. I really enjoyed it. I've never been super into Molotov Solution. There's something a band I found out a little bit later and try to get into, but I don't know, something was off for me. It didn't click with me. This one does click with me. I really enjoy this one, especially songs like Necessary Evil and Stranglehold. And I do like that whole it's political without actually picking a side, which I always kind of like.
Yeah.
And especially I want to say Stranglehold that has the resistor die. There is no other choice. As we sharpen the knives to the throat of kings or something like that. Something along those lines. I love that. I thought this was an awesome EP. Yeah, it turned me into a Molotov fan. And also listening to it, this makes me think this is what thy art is murder should be sounding like. But they're not sounding like it anymore.
Yeah, you're totally right. I definitely got those vibes, and I kind of hate, putting them in the same can, but I feel like at this point, like, how could you not? Like, there's obviously a lot of kind of similar things going on between both bands, but that's not to say this one isn't just as good. And I'd say that this is honestly better than what I thought the last Die Art album was, but not to pit bands against each other, but you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. There was something about that last release that it almost made me miss CJ. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, something about Godlike kind of just felt a little soulless, where this one feels like it has conviction in what they're talking about, has energy, and it has like a purpose, to where the other one just felt like it was an album for the sake of an album. And I do want to say there is a little bit of connection between the two bands, because I want to say this is technically the second time CJ's been out of the band. And that first time was very short. But I want to say Molotov Solutions vocalist is the one who took over vocals for that short period of time. So there is a little bit of that connection. And I think listening to this, I can definitely see it because there's very similar sounds. But I think Molotov is actually doing a better job at it. Just my opinion. But
yeah, so fuck you, Thy Artist Murder.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the new EP by Molotov Solution called Void. Check it out.
Check it out.
And also, there's some titties on the cover. So enjoy.
Is there really? Is
Pretty
it like
sure.
the skeletal ones?
No, it's
Let
like
me see this. Oh, okay. Interesting. That's not what I thought it was going to look like. I was seeing like I thought it was like two skeleton heads, like back to back.
That looks like two sets of eyes, one like normalized and one with like laser beams going down.
Weird.
And then like this naked woman on the cover. I don't know if she's praising the eyes or overwhelmed by them. I don't know.
Wow, that is pretty sick. I like that. Very cool.
But yeah.
Nice.
Let's get to
Check it
what
out.
we've all been waiting for. And that is full-length albums. Start with you.
Dude.
What out of all these albums, what was your favorite one? What's your pick for this week?
Okay. Yeah. It is going to be Throne. That who sat
Ooh.
upon him was death. This was a Sean wreck.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Sean. Super sick, man. I was very, very thoroughly impressed with this, man. It's like a super techie, um, awesome, just goodness
Mm-hmm.
in a can of fast. No, I don't know. Yeah, man. What do you think of it, dude? I thought it was awesome.
I did very much enjoy this one too. I was a little thrown off because the album art made it. I thought it was going to be just a straightforward black metal band. Nope, it's more than
Yeah,
that.
true.
It's kind of a blackened death metal techie stuff. This was awesome. Full blown force just hit you. Awesome album.
Dude, those vocals, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is such a sick tone that
Mm-hmm.
from a can, like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's nuts. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely agree on the cover. Totally looks black metal.
Oh yeah.
Where are these guys from?
I don't know.
Because this is absolutely badass.
Yeah, good job, Sean. For me, favorite song's
Yeah.
probably gonna be Blasphemous Perversion and the last song, Where the Angels Cower in Fear. Awesome. I enjoyed this.
Well, their Spotify doesn't say where they're from, so never mind. Not my favorite. No, I'm kidding. um, no, I love Disentombed. The opening, it's absolutely gnarly. You get what you're getting throughout this album. Like it's just that sick opening of that. I love the vocals, man. I can't say that enough. Human Frailty. I want to say that song was super
Ooh,
badass.
yeah.
So yeah, favorite of the week.
Awesome. Yeah, and that is
Definitely
the
some
new-
other good ones / interesting.
Yeah. And that is a new album by Throne with their new album, That Who Sat Upon Him Was Death. Check it out. Silas's
Check
pick
it.
for the week. Um,
Actually,
For
I
me-
want to change it.
who you
No, I'm
got?
kidding. I'm joking.
So for me, it's going to be a tough choice because I feel like this was a great week for music. I want to say I've listened to every album all the way through at least once. Some I've listened to multiple times through.
Mhm.
But for me, it's the album that grew on me more and more with every listen. And it wasn't one I was super excited for, but it's grown on me so much. And that is
Ooh.
Gold Star by Imperial Triumphant.
Oh,
The more I listen
Of
to this
course.
album, the more I fucking love this album. This is
really? Man.
So I'm gonna say this. I got into this band in Alphaville. I thought that was like awesome.
Uh-huh.
The previous album, Spirit of Ecstasy, I thought it was good, but it was too much of the chaos. It was a little too heavy on that. And I feel like that's what this band sounds always been, just like very heavy on the jazz, very kind of free range. To where this album, there's still jazz, but it tightens it up more to where these songs here have the most normal song structure than they've ever done before, and I think it pays off for them very well. I want to say I even got some Evangelion vibes a little bit in like the opener of I Am Mars.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this one because so the first couple, and even the flow of this album is great. So it starts off with I Am Mars, then Gamora Nouveau, then the single we went over with Lexington Delirium featuring Thomas Hake, who does do the spoken word. Hotel Sphinx opens up
okay.
with some awesome tapping and surprisingly funny music video, where the whole music video is them as little toys, just riding toy horses and playing shows. And the funniest part was there's a part of the song where everything stops and it's just this piano, and that's in the video, and it's just piano, and then you see these tiny toy hands just. But then
Wow.
it gets into a nice break in the album with two kind of short back-to-back almost instrumentals. The first one's New York City, which is just pretty much a grindcore song, just featuring Yoshiko Ohara, just like screaming as loud as they can during this grindcore pretty much part. Gold Star sounds like a commercial from the 1950s, almost like a BioShock vibe going on in this.
Okay.
Then Rot Modern, almost a borderline breakdown near the end, but as Imperial Triumphant do it, so awesome. Pleasure Dome featuring Dave Lombardo, who does this weird, like kind of like an samba style drum solo, like weird break in the middle. And then Thomas Hake again does another spoken word. And then it ends with the longest song, Industry of Misery. I love this album. This might be something in top end of the year for me. What do you think of this album?
Well, I thought it was a fat heaping pile of steaming. No, I'm kidding. No, actually, no, I don't know. I feel like they're on to something because, like, there was one of the songs that really stuck out was Gamora Novo or something, however you pronounce that. That actually was pretty sick. Like, it was, I think, the most tangible from what I heard, but I don't know. It's just so weird. It's just, I don't know, man. It's like, it makes me anxious. It makes me stressed out. Like, listening to it, I don't know. I feel like I'd just be watching it, and like, if I watched this live, I would just be stressed the whole time. I would be biting my fingernails while I watched this band play. It's like, oh my God, like, what the fuck is going on? You know? Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, it's cool, I guess. But I don't know that I got all the way through it. And I don't really know what song I made it to. But
I gotcha. Even if so like I said, this would probably be on my end of the year list. If not for like on the top 10, at least the bassist is probably going to be on this mentioned, because this is just a 3-piece going on. So the guitarist will he's also the vocalist. So the bassist is actually doing a lot of work, and you can tell because he's at a lot of the driving force, a lot of that thumping going on, a lot of weird stuff. Hats off to the bassist. Yeah, that is the new album Gold Star from black metal jazz, whatever you want to call it, band Imperial
like
Triumphant.
Avant-garde?
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, no matter what, it's weird.
It's interesting you mentioned the jazz or the bass. Like I remember definitely like hearing almost like a Primus type shit in there. You know, it was so weird, but I can't quite pinpoint it. It just sounds like super bass heavy, but interesting. I would be interested to see them live, but the vocals is, I think, what really got me the most. That's like what I missed. It's that very Behemoth early style, super deathy type. Like, that's what I want, Behemoth to sound like now. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Yeah, I think
can't be choosers.
I think the bass part you're probably talking about was probably in Pleasure Dome, because I want to say the bass is like the rest of the band's still playing, but I want to say he pretty much almost does like a bass solo right before the Dave Lombardo drum solo. Because I remember that specifically was sticking out. But yeah, those are our 2 top picks.
It is a cool cover.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty sick.
Yeah, those are our 2 top picks. But that's not to say that there isn't other great albums on here. There's a lot. Some were close seconds. But let's just go through them.
Sure.
First one we got on this playlist is a recommendation from a fan. Hello, McQuangus from TikTok. He recommended this. McQuangus. He recommended this band, Contagion, with their new album, Spinal Cord Stew. And listening to this, it's very much like a kind of a grimy sounding old schooler death metal. I would say kind of in the, not necessarily the vein of, there's similarities in some of the style with Sanguine Sugarbog, but instead of being like the complete caveman. It's more of the kind of the structure of like incantation with a little bit of sanguishigabog. Very fun, awesome griminess. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy it. Top songs I would say would probably be Warheads and this one song who I'm kind of almost grossed out by the title. And I think it's just a weird thing for me. It's oozing, but the fact that it has the three O's just makes me more grossed out. I can't explain that.
Oozing.
Also, so it's oozing pus, but I can't tell because there's an extra S at the end. Because I'm pretty sure pus only has one S. So is it oozing puss?
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
Oozing puss.
I think it could go either way for a band like this.
Yeah. What were your
I mean,
thoughts on this one?
I dig it, dude. It's uber gore. I mean, I think that's pretty abrupt from the get-go. Like super gore, brutal death, but super sick, man. I dug the album cover too. I thought that was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Spinal Cord Stew. I love the titles too.
Yeah.
Spinal Cord Stew, sick. Warheads. I remember going to that one. Rotting, Wasted. It's pretty solid, man.
Gods begin to growl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good recommendation, McQuingus. And shout out to Contagion with their new album, Spinal Cord Stew. I feel weird just saying McQuingus as I say Spinal Cord Stew.
Yeah. Kind of sounds dirty.
Yeah. Check them out. Maryland's own death metal band, Contagion.
Yep.
Up next, we have a release we've been anticipating. This is the debut album from Gates to Hell with their debut album, Death Comes to All. What was your thoughts on this one?
Sick, dude. It is super gnarly, very badass. That kind of death metal core hybrid. Sick breakdowns, man. They're short and sweet with their songs. I don't think that this album is very long.
No.
But super badass, man. I mean, they're straight and to the point. Death Comes to All. That one was one of my favorites next to Bleed. Yeah, badass album, dude. What'd you think of it?
This is probably going to be my second favorite because I did love it. It is very short, so it's very quick and almost over in a flash. But I want to say like this sound specifically, it kind of reminds me of Vomit Forth. It makes me think of like if deathcore wasn't already a genre, this is the perfect melding of like death metal and hardcore, but its own style. Like it's like a hardcore band got really into undeath and just decided to make a band. But yeah, top songs for me is probably going to be A Summoning, Next to Bleed, 21 Sacraments, Craze Killer, which was that single we did a couple weeks ago. This was an awesome album, a blast, and I'm glad that this band is coming out with music. I hope to see more. Yeah, that is Gates to Hell, Death Comes to All. Check it out. Support these youngins.
Yeah.
Up next, we have kind of like a legacy act, a band that's been around for a while. Very big band, and that is The Screaming of the Valkyrie by the legendary extreme gothic black metal, whatever you want to call them, band Cradle of Filth.
The best. Yeah, this is their 27th album.
Holy shit. I would not be surprised. Is that actually...
No, I'm kidding. No, I don't think it's that many. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Not only do they have like a shit ton of albums, but dude, like they just started making like 10 song albums, 10 or 12. Like it used to be like 20 something, I think.
Yeah,
it's obnoxious.
That's why I'm glad we have not talked about doing one of their album rankings because that is a lot of music.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. Listening to Cradle of Filth it'd be 2 weeks. You'd have to like do 2 segments.
Yeah, that's something we're gonna have to plan out in the future. Where it's like, all right, we need about a month to listen to all this shit. This is a lot, and even then, somehow be able to retain all that. Like, this was my thoughts on this, and that's a lot.
Man, I mean, if I think it's hard to write one song, like, dude, this guy's Danny Filth has just got to be a fucking vault of shit. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Well, also, it's not like any of his songs are short, and it's not. I don't even think he
Yeah.
really repeats things that often. He's spin at fire. That's a
Yeah,
lot of
very
lyrics.
vocally. Yeah, dude, tons of vocal work in that band. It's nuts. Dude, blows my mind.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, this album I really liked. I think that like that song I keep going back to Live Deliciously. Like at first I didn't think it was anything special, crazy, but the more it just kind of like repeats in my brain. It's almost too easy to repeat. You know what I mean? It's one of those
Yeah.
songs, just kind of like get you sucked in once it touches you. But no, touches your ears. But I don't know. Yeah, it was catchy. I don't really think I stuck a lot, with too much of the rest of the album. Malignant Perfection, I think, is another cool one. But yeah, I think the first song is probably my favorite on this. What'd you think of it, man?
I do think like this better than their past couple albums, like especially Hammer the Witch. I do think it also eclipses their previous album. I forget what it's called. It's the one with like the aliens and the red stuff, but I wouldn't say it's like close to like it's not up to par with like their classic stuff like Cruelty and the Beast or my favorite Godspeed on Devil's Thunder, but it's still very good. One of the better things they've come out with. I do love the opening track to Live Deliciously. I also love the second track, Demagoguery. I do think it, after a while, I do get a little bit bored. It does pick up back up near the end with Ex Sanguine Draculae. But all in all, I am happier with this release than I have been with their previous few releases.
Yeah, I think I agree with that because like I remember I liked hearing that like he's kind of still sounding like old school Danny Filth.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really pay attention enough to the last couple releases, but this has been the first one to kind of catch my attention more than the other ones. But yeah, I thought it was really cool, man. It's entertaining.
Yeah, they're coming back. And in all honesty, this also kind of makes me somewhat more excited to where if we do go to that Dying Fetus show, maybe also go to see it for Cradle of Filth. Makes me a little bit more excited to where if they do play new stuff, I won't be super like, oh, they're just playing new stuff. Like, they're playing some new stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the new album by Cradle of Filth, The Screaming of the Valkyries. All right. Up next, we have the new album by Spirit World, Hell Dorado. This is a band that I love. We've kind of been following them probably since their debut with Pagan Rhythms. I remember sending that to you a long time ago, and for the longest time I didn't realize that was the same band that came out with Death Western when that came out, because Death Western was awesome. I bought that as well. Check it out if you haven't. Death Western. But this is the Las Vegas thrash. I don't really know what specific thrash death. I don't know what you want to call it. Las Vegas death thrash punk metal band.
I don't know. Yeah.
With a cowboy theme. And in all honesty, I had a lot of hype going into
like
this.
tumbleweed metal?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that a fair term?
Yeah, it's tumbleweed, Las Vegas tumbleweed music. I had a lot of hype going into this album, especially with the singles. First one I was the least excited for was Western Stars in the Apocalypse, but Abilene Grime I thought got me excited, but I ended up pre-ordering this because of Oblivion. And when this came out, once the second track, which is the first new song of this album, No Vacancy in Heaven, I was ready to give this my album of the year. I was so fucking excited. Even with I was worried that the chorus is going to get cheesy with if there's a heaven, I don't want to know. Don't want to know. It's like, this is going to go down a cheesy route. But then he says it with, just bathe my soul, turn. It's like, he went heavier. Okay, awesome. It's like, saved it.
Yeah.
Like, I was point blank ready to give this my album of the year. Then Western
Nice.
Stars in the Apocalypse. It's like, oh yeah, perfect album, perfect album. But then
It is.
that's when Spirit World starts throwing some curveballs. Is this fourth song, Bird Song of Death, which isn't a bad song. I feel like this would work as like an album closer, like to encapsulate everything. It's like, okay, it's kind of almost like a punk rockish vibe, like some punks hanging out in cars singing a song as they're leaving town. Like, yeah, it's whatever. But then it continues with Prayer Lips, which is just like a softly quieted sung love song. I was like, okay. Wait on the Reaper goes back into like the heaviness, like, oh, not the
Yeah.
best song, but it's pretty good. Then it's back into Oblivion, which, my opinion, best song on the record. And surprisingly, you were right. There is actually that is just the band doing that crazy like black metal.
Oh, no
There's
shit.
in the
Nice.
liner notes. There's no guest features.
Oh,
But then it goes
that's so
back into
badass.
this. It goes back into this. I don't know what the fuck this is. Cleansing song, which is pretty much just on a minute 43 transition track to Stigmata Scars, which is not a bad song, pretty good. And then Annihilism back to
Super
this
iffy.
just random softness. So, if you're keeping track, they've released 3 singles that are heavy. There's 10 tracks on this album, and only 6 are heavy. So really, I got 3 new heavy songs. I was severely disappointed.
Really? Wow.
I still love this album, but there's so much of this filler stuff I feel that I feel
Yeah.
gypped. And in all honesty, I feel like they could have cut Cleansing and Prayer Lips and just thrown in like I was even thinking like if you throw in like a cover, I was thinking the perfect cover would be like if they did Slayer's South of Heaven, but at a slightly faster, fit perfectly. But I feel like
That would be
there's
cool.
too much filler on this album.
Yeah.
So for me, that's kind of pulling it back to where it's not going to be my album of the year. I don't know. I've listened to this probably the most. I think I've listened to it all the way through like 3 times already. What are your thoughts on this album?
I liked it, man. I thought it was really cool. I like the vibes that it gives. I think the kind of softer stuff, the more experimental, play around with the sounds stuff they're doing, just like I kind of dig it, man. I mean, it almost kind of gives more of the soundtrack vibe than like an album because you're getting so much of both. So, but I don't know. With that being said, I kind of liked it. I also like the placement of the tracks. I like how they separated it because it kind of gets fast, gets heavy, and then it kind of slows down, and then it gets fast and heavy, and then it kind of slows down, and I like the waves. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think that was kind of cool. But yeah, dude, I enjoyed it. I really did. I would love to see this band live. I think it'd be super interesting.
I would love to see them live. Also, I was a little surprised because I always assumed so. Stu Folsom is the lead singer. I always assumed he was also playing guitar. Apparently, he's not. He's just solely the
really?
vocalist. And apparently,
okay.
so there's like 6 people in this band. Apparently,
Oh no shit.
yeah, I didn't know this because they have another person. So, in the first album, he did do guitar. Maybe it's the new album. What am I thinking of? So yeah, this new album, I want to say. Yeah, there's 6 people. Stu Folsom, Matt Scrum, Nick Grundy, Preston Harper, Randy Moore, and where did I see that? Oh, here it is. It's at the bottom. All right, Spirit World. Stu Folsom vocals, Matt Scrum rhythm guitar, Nick Grundy bass, Randy Morley guitar, Preston Harper drums, Justin Fornoff vocals and sampling. So you have another person who does vocals and sampling.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, check out Spirit World. They're still awesome. This album, for me, even though I'm not a big fan of the whole album, I do think the songs on here, like I still think Death Western for me is more consistent, but the songs on here that are good, I think are the best songs Spirit World's written, like Oblivion and Abilene Grime, even No Vacancy in Heaven. I think that these are some of the best songs they've written ever. And
Yeah.
even though I was disappointed, I've still listened to this vinyl a couple times because it's still Spirit World, still brand new songs that are hella awesome. So yeah, check out Hell Dorado by Spirit World.
Hell yeah.
Up next, we have, is this the last one? Yeah, this is the last one. Lastly, we have Everything Rots by Cabal. What'd you think of this one?
I kind of missed for me. I kind of skimmed through it. Didn't really stick.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I want to like it, you know?
Yeah.
I want to be into it. What do you think?
I very much have the same vibe. This is a band I really want to see succeed because you introduced me to this band with their debut EP. I think it was even just their very first song, Innocent Blood.
So good.
And I loved that EP. Forget what it's called, but that whole EP was awesome. And it kind of got me back into deathcore because I kind of drifted away, but very cool deathcore sound and vibe to it that I loved. Even their debut album, I didn't think it was as good as the EP, but I thought it was still pretty good. Second album was I Stopped Caring. Their previous album, I thought it was interesting. There was some good parts on it, but still not up to the snuff of the EP. But I thought it was better than their debut and what they've been doing. This one, I feel like it has that same similar sound as the previous album, without any of the memorable stuff about it. I don't feel like there's anything that really stuck out at all about this album. It felt very, I don't know, just like everything was predictable about it. Not a lot of catchy parts that stuck out. It just kind of felt like a wall of noise after a while, which I feel like sucks because I feel like this band should get more recognition, but I don't know. I don't think this album's going to help with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they got a pretty big following. I mean, maybe I might come back to it too, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't really listened to them since that first song, you know. I mean, they no doubt have a cool sound and have some crazy shit going on, some gnarly riffage. But yeah, man, I don't know. Might be one of those 6-month burners for me.
Yeah, and I do like the whole vibe and concept of the band, like the whole like a secret society, like a satanic, or even I think it's more of like a pagan feel. I love that vibe. I think it especially worked with the debut EP, like the Innocent Blood, even that video you showed me, and it was in full blossom. I think with the first album, the previous album was more of that midsummer vibe. Because I want to say they just watched it, and that was pretty much the whole vibe of the entire album, hence all the flowers and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. Wasn't my favorite vibe, but I think it did kind of fit. I'm glad they didn't stick with it though, because I don't think that's a concept you can really keep going. But I at least like the whole vibe of Cabal, because that's pretty sure that's what Cabal, the name of the band, is supposed to be, is a secret evil society. So I like that. But this one, I don't know, it just felt lost. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Way to suck, Cabal.
But yeah, if you want some new deathcore in your life, check out Cabal's new album, Everything Rots, and form your own opinion on it. Maybe you'll listen to it and say, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. This is awesome. Yeah. Go ahead and do it. Check them out.
Total smarty pantses over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, that is this week's brand new playlist. I don't know. Is it for me? There's a couple albums on here which will be on my end of the year. Is there anything that you think is sticking out to you? I know Brown was your favorite. Is there anything that you think might be sticking out?
I don't know about end of year, possibly. But no, I mean, I think not really. Next release I'm really looking forward to is Cytotoxin, man. I was kind of thinking that was this week, but
when does
I
that
don't
come
think
out?
so. I don't know. Let me Google real quick. Was it biographite?
Yeah, but they don't have the countdown on.
Biographite.
Yeah, there's no countdown on their page.
Oh, not biographies.
Biographite.
Oh, really? Damn. Yeah.
I want to say it comes out next month sometime.
Let's see. Yeah, I think you're right. May? Oh, man. Shit.
Oh, it's May?
That's crazy. Well, I guess it says if you order the vinyl, you won't get it until May.
Oh.
But it's weird. It's like on I think like a foreign site. It's got like euros for the currency.
Hmm.
Yeah. It says it will be released on May 9th.
Okay. So we still have about a month and a half.
It says due to the difficult market situation, the vinyl will not be available until the beginning of May. I don't know. It's kind of confusing.
Yeah, because it seemed like you could only pre-order from one site, it seemed. But like it wasn't on a typical like indie merch store or anything like that.
Yeah. And then it's like right here, release date on this website of theirs, it's 2025. Like it doesn't even have a date. Like what the fuck, dude?
I wonder if maybe they're still in the process of recording it.
Jeez. Some bullshit.
We
No, I'm
want it
kidding.
now, cytotoxin.
Yeah, dude. It says their style is Chernobyl death metal. Got a nail on the head there.
Yeah. Is there any other new releases that we missed that you want to talk about?
I don't think so, man.
I gotcha.
Oh, I was also just going to note the connection that I noticed while listening to Imperial Triumphant. I got a lot of that Oranzi Pazuzu band vibe with the psychedelic kind of stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Imperial Triumphant, they have this like anxiety-ridden background brassy shit going on, you know, that just sets me on edge. But like Orenzi Pazuzu, they almost take more of like the rides of like the synths and other weird shit they're doing, you know. So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of a similar band doing similar things.
I also kind of, because I was listening to it when with my kids while I was doing laundry, but also kind of reminds me a little bit of we reviewed their album last year, Pyron, or however you pronounce that band's name. Kind of that I wouldn't say atonal, but kind of close to it, to where it almost sounds like these aren't real notes.
Dead bird on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, I'm kind of sad I didn't pre-order that one because that one looks like it's sold out. I'm trying to figure out where I can find that at.
Oh wow,
Gold Star.
Oh really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Damn. See, that's what's crazy. I feel like that band's catching a lot of buzz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
a lot of buzz for such a weird sound.
Yeah, because it's obviously not for everyone, but I know they're also on tour right now with Mayhem, so I think that's also kind of helping a little bit. But also, I feel like it's even just the setup. I don't want it to come off like this, but I almost want to say it's almost like kind of like a media darling kind of thing. Like if this was a movie, this would be like, well, of course they're going to be nominated for an Oscar kind of thing. Like it's that kind of vibe to where it's like, yeah, this is the crowd. This is the type of music that the critics will love the most, kind of thing. But it's, I don't want to say it as a negative thing because it's not. But they do have that more of like, I don't know, snobby. Like this would make a snobby critic happy. I feel like it's still good, but I feel like it's that vibe to where, like, because they are trying new stuff. I feel.
Yeah, it was definitely the most. Like one thing that I've seen critics say about this release is palatable, and I can definitely feel that. Like I think it's the most consumable form of Imperial Triumphant. Their other shit, man, was just too much stress. You know.
Yeah, even just watching the Eyes to Mars music video, this band feels more focused than they ever have been. So I do think this is maybe the thing that makes them even have even bigger tours and or higher slots on a tour. Uh,
Hmm,
so glad to see they're getting more and more attention. Um,
nice.
are you ready for some metal news? I actually have some stuff this week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I'm ready.
All right.
Metal news.
Metal news. Hot off the
What
press.
news are you watching?
So, kind of like a similar to the Oceano tour drama, but this isn't really drama. Just a lot of tour updates to one tour. So originally, there was a tour that was announced. It was going to be Exodus and Deicide originally. Deicide dropped off though. I forget what the reasons were, but they dropped off, and they were replaced by Possessed. The original death metal band. I want to. Some people argue whether or not they were the first death metal band. Not for me to argue about, but something I was actually kind of excited to see is like, oh yeah, I would go see Possessed. They were coming through here. They dropped off too though recently for medical reasons. For those of you who don't know, Possessed, their lead singer, a long time ago was paralyzed from I think a robbery gone wrong. So he
Oh,
was working
shit.
somewhere and he got shot in the spine, so he is in a wheelchair.
Oh, no.
So the medical reasons I can see being an issue. So they dropped off. So now this new tour is going to be Exodus and fuck, who was it? Now I had this news lined up.
God damn it, Jeff. Let me see here.
No. Yeah, Havoc.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I seen that.
Yeah, Havoc has replaced Possessed and Deicide. So since last week, the tour was announced, Deicide drops off, Possessed was announced as replacement, Possessed drops off, and now Havoc is touring with Exodus, coming to a city near you.
Mm. So instead of two bands, you just get one.
I mean, I'm not as excited about it. I don't mind Havoc, but I mean, I was seeing Possessed got me excited. Hell, I might even go see Deicide again. I don't know. Havoc and Exodus doesn't get me as excited. They are coming near here to Oklahoma City and Kansas City
for like a hot minute. Like I was on him for a good run back in the day. But I don't think I've listened to him since. Gnarly thrash though, from what I remember.
I want to say if it's the band I'm thinking of, was that the one that released? It was in like the COVID year because I want to say that was like a big year for thrash bands. I want to say were they the band that came out with the album of like it looked like an Eller and Cantor cover with the hands, like it's some guy and one of those hands. He's kind of coming cybertronic a little bit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I do.
Because I really like that album. Yeah, it is them. Okay. Yeah, with their album V. That was an awesome album. Yeah, post-truth era, fear campaign, betrayed by technology. That was an awesome album.
Yeah, I think. Gosh, why can't I get the fucking cover, man? What's that album called?
Just called V.
V. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, man, they are a badass thrash band.
Yeah.
That'll be tight.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to a lot of Exodus. I don't know. I'm not real familiar with Possessed either.
Possessed doesn't have too many albums. They're very, very, especially their first album was very raw because it's kind of like because it was before Death, but it was heavy thrash, and it was also featured Larry Lalonde, who was Primus's guitarist before he joined Primus. Very
Oh, okay.
kind of chaotic, especially the riff in the opening track, The Exorcist. Very weird, abrupt changes, even mid riff. But it's a fun listen to. If you really just want to figure out X or Possess, I recommend their newest one because I feel like that's the more catchy version of Possessed with the song "No More Room in Hell." Um,
Okay.
yeah, I recommend Possessed. They're pretty good.
Nice.
Other metal news. This one is more in line with drama because uh, the hardcore band Gel has called it quits. Did you see this news?
Oh, I did over like a creepy band member, right?
Yes. So the band Gel, I want to say it's 4 or 5 members. 2 of them are female. Kicked out their guitarist, and I don't know if after they kicked him out they found out all this stuff. But apparently they kicked out their guitarist, then made a statement that not only are they kicking him out, they're dissolving the band because apparently this guy was not only stealing their money and like was severely abusive in the band, like emotionally and mentally, but he was also stealing, like taking naked pictures of them. I don't know if he like stole from their phones or something and like selling them.
Wow. What the fuck? That's crazy. Yeah.
To the point where I guess the band's like, I don't want to even be in this band, even if he's not in it. Just kind of like, no, I'm done with
Yeah.
this. So the band Gel
Wow.
is now no more. And I want to say they were even going on tour soon, but they're no longer a part of that. So Gel is no more because of a creepy weird guy.
I think that's the first allegation news of 2025, right?
I guess so. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be more.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
has to be
there's
more we
definitely
haven't
gonna be
talked
more.
about.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I
probably
feel
true.
like I feel like Google's caught on to it so much where you can type in a band and there'll be a Google suggestion of band controversy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, right.
I've even tried this like, wait, this band has controversy and nothing pops up,
Yeah.
but it
Right.
automatically pops up like, are you looking for this band's controversy?
Yeah, you like type in the band's name on Google and the second word suggestions in the list, it's like problems, controversy,
Allegations.
allegations, killings, murder. That would be nuts. Just anything you type in Google, the secondary word searches are just gnarly.
I bet we could even make that into a game. Name a band, I bet I could get Google to populate controversy or
Um,
something. Let's do
I
Havoc.
mean, Diddy, obviously, but yeah.
Here we go. Even with Havoc Band, it is the 5th suggestion.
Is it really?
Havoc Band controversy.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. See, I actually got pretty legit search here. I'm using Microsoft Bing though, but this
Oh,
is Havoc band merch, tour, logo, members, wiki, bio, songs, lyrics, albums, videos, bands.
oh,
Pretty true to, that I guess. That's cool. But that's crazy.
yeah.
That's funny.
I think that's all the news I got. I want to see there was more, but those two are the ones that kind of stuck with me that I wanted to bring up. But yeah, that's all I got for metal news. Do you got any other metal news?
No, that's it for me. There was some recalled beef sticks sold at Costco that might contain bits of metal.
Oh, was it Chompstick?
Yeah.
I did see
Get
that.
it, metal news. Sorry. That was really
Oh,
dumb. You might need to cut that out.
no, I'm leaving it in. Um, there was one more piece of metal news. I don't care that much, but it's falls under the purview, and there might be people who listen who care about this. But the band Sleep Token has released a new song or teasing a new album, and I've even announced an arena tour in the U.S. which has already sold out.
I've seen that. That makes me not want to like them. Like, is that crazy? Is that kind of weird?
I don't know. I feel like how this band blow up this much?
I don't know.
So I feel like I didn't hear about them at all until Take Me Back to Eden came out, which is what, 2 or 3 years ago.
I still can't get into them, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe I haven't given them the fair chance.
I don't know, because I even listened to that new song Emergence, and I don't get it. I don't understand the appeal. It was because I want to say it was even borderline hip hop ish. And it even felt like, did they forget they were a metal band and they just put random chugs like 2 minutes into it and then back to I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah, and the whole mask thing, I guess I think that might contribute to why they're so popular. It's because they're, got the mask mystery going on. Ooh, I don't know what he looks like, but I know what he sounds like, I don't know.
And I also think there's also the whole like sexual attraction. I think because I see that the most when it comes to Facebook, like all the how hot he is because he always has his shirt off and he has all this black paint on it.
Yeah, so, like chiseled like black paint, like 8-pack.
Yeah,
it's so ridiculous.
And it's the music I've listened to. It always sounds like it's borderline is kind of like sexual, kind of like how Deftones is. But I like Deftones more. But
yeah,
because I don't get how this band is so popular, but the band that seems like they're stealing from the most, Deftones, has never been that popular. Like I don't think Deftones does arena tours and sells out in a week.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts, man.
And it wouldn't be that big of a deal to me if I didn't see them getting even more recognition. So for example, I saw something and I couldn't believe it. Their band Take Me to Eden won Metal Album of the Year. I forget which award. I think it was like Metal Hammer or NME. It was like somewhat of a legit like metal media thing. It won that album won Album of the Year 2 years in a row.
What? Oh,
exactly.
Come on.
How?
Yeah, that's some bullshit. That's ridiculous.
If it's eligible for 1 year, it can't be eligible for another year. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's like award fucking 101.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know, dude. I don't get them. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
It is what it is. But yeah, if you're into Sleep Token, sorry for shitting all over them, but there's some Sleep Token. No, I'm not going to that. Fuck that.
Oh. Yeah.
I guarantee that would have been so expensive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they're getting scalped the shit out of.
Oh, yeah. I still don't get how are they selling out arenas? I don't understand that.
I don't know. That's fucking nuts, though, man. I didn't realize they were that popular. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I guess even they made a big deal because I guess someone who was on the Joe Rogan podcast wore a Sleep Token shirt while he was being interviewed too. I don't know.
Oh, really? I didn't even catch that. I don't know.
Oh, speaking of that, back to this kind of goes back to your the whole we're influencing the culture thing. I've been seeing more and more people talking about something I said a couple episodes back. And even I think the band has even said something about it, about Spirit Box being industry plants. I've been seeing more and more to where even Spirit Box themselves have said something about it. Have you even seen this?
No, I haven't.
About being accused of being industry plants?
Really?
Mm-hmm. I even saw someone trying to justify as if you think they're an industry plant, you have no idea about the about Stringer and LaPlante's metal careers back in Montreal growing up. It's like, okay, they could have had a big following in Canada and the underground. However, in my opinion, the bigness of Spirit Box, and if they had this huge underground following, why was I Wrestled a Bear Once nowhere near the level of Spirit Box's popularity? There is a gap.
Yeah. Well, and you would even think
plans, but
you would think that Spirit Box fans would be obvious fans of the Hail Mary album because I
Mhm.
mean she sounds damn near identical. It's just mostly
Yeah.
all screams, but yeah, I could definitely see it, man. It definitely sounds commercial. Just listening to it. I think it's like kind of annoying that like the the dude and whoever she's with in the band, how they're always like huggy,
Hmm.
like kind of just too real close on each other in photos. It's just like I don't know. It's like a little too much PDA. You know what I mean? Like, come on, you guys are a band. Be professional, please.
Well, even because they were in the band together in I Wrestled a Bear once. So you think like if people want to say like no, they had their underground thing like, and then they met to formed Spirit Box together, but they were also both those members were in I Wrestled a Bear once. So
Oh
that
wow,
same thing should apply to because
yeah,
I think that's how she met him. I'm assuming,
okay.
but I have that slight feeling of industry plantitionist because I remember there being a shit ton of merch coming out and like expensive ass merch coming out, and I think they only had like 2 or 3 songs out at the time. And I thought, who the fuck is Spirit Box and where are these? I want to say they even like sound like this like cube thing that just had Spirit Box around. I think you put it on like a light. I don't know, it was like 30 or $40. I thought it was an actual Spirit Box, like an actual like
Uh,
ghost hunting thing. It's like, oh,
you
that's
could.
fucking awesome. Spirit Box band coming out with an actual Spirit Box, fucking cool.
This is a spirit catching box. Oh, that's
Which also,
hilarious. Yeah.
if you're naming your band a Spirit Box, maybe play into what a Spirit Box is. Like have some
Yeah.
spookiness, and even
Yeah, it's
like
almost like a AI generated name, right? Pretty
I don't even
fucking
know because I
dull.
feel if you have the name Spirit Boxes make a specific sound, so make it more like rhythmic, a lot even more noise, like how it goes, and then maybe you can do more of a ghostly vocals because I feel like her, especially her cleans, could very much play into like the ghostliness.
Yeah,
Just my
I could
opinion.
see that. Yeah, like casket. Like, you
Yeah,
know, I think of a spirit box. They should have done like a casket logo. I think that would have been a
yeah,
perfect opportunity for them.
yeah,
Maybe they have. I don't know. I'm not a big spirit box goer, but one of the things I've hated is like the lack of metaling their logo. You know what I mean? It looks like the least metal out of all the metal bands.
yeah.
So stupid. Looks
I
like an
do think
FM radio station.
I do think it is more for marketability, in my opinion. Again, back
Yeah.
to my original thought of
Yeah.
I think that is more trying to be bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Probably right.
Yeah. I probably
So
should stop
yeah.
shitting on Spirit Box so much, but
Yeah.
I just don't
Welcome
get it.
back to the Spirit Box Hate Show.
I said it when I reviewed their album. I'm kind of a hater when it comes to them. I can't explain it. I'll be
There's three
upfront about it.
bands that we trash on this podcast, and that is Spirit Box, Sleep Token, and Wage War.
And Bad Omens.
Oh yeah, and Bad Omens. Um, yeah, and no, I'm kidding, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I liked this last album. I thought it was cool. It was the most cool Spirit Box that I have heard.
Hmm. Yeah, I did
But
like it better than I think it was Eternal Blue. And even I want to say their EP. But even during that EP and that first album, I was like, I don't understand this hype. I
yeah,
don't get it.
hmm,
But that's just my opinion. Um,
sadness.
I do have a topic, and it kind of ties into some of the music we've been talking to. And I always
Okay.
want to talk about the current state of deathcore because I feel like there's a resurgence, and it's a very good resurgence because it's not just the same bands or the same sounds that's been going on. Are
Hmm,
there's more bands that get more popularity, but it feels like to me there's becoming a lot more variety when it comes to deathcore. And what I mean by that is like, yeah, you mentioned it with the Gates to Hell band, uh,
hmm.
kind of kind of taking deathcore but making it kind of their own, to where it is more of like a old school hardcore, like almost like Gorilla Biscuits, or even First Blood meets like Undeath or Sanguine Sugar Bog. Then you also have these other deathcore bands there's an influx of kind of doing more of the old MySpace style, kind of like we when we reviewed Crucifixion last year,
Hmm.
or I want to say Girl of Glass is another band that's doing a similar thing. Kind of instead of
Mm.
like embracing what these modern deathcore bands are doing, more of like bringing back that old school MySpace deathcore era, which I find
Yeah.
very interesting. And I remember even I saw a short clip of the lead singer of Crucifixion even talking about it, to where he says his favorite album and his what he thinks is the best deathcore vocalist performance ever was Infinite Death by Thy Art Is Murder, which you can
No
clearly
shit.
see in that album. It's like, yeah, that those vocals are 100% Infinite Death, Thy Art Is Murder. And I just feel like deathcore is kind of having that resurgence, and it's kind of, I know there's always been, especially with death metal, there's been a little bit of like deathcore isn't real metal, or that's for poser stuff, but I feel like it's becoming more and more acceptable to like deathcore, and especially with these refreshing additions to deathcore. What are your thoughts on deathcore, state of deathcore nowadays?
I mean, I think I always loved deathcore, but I can't think of. I think the most successful deathcore band is the Acacia Strain. I mean, they're still carrying the torch, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They are at the top, and so for those, I'll always love that band, and I think Suicide Silence rose to fame, like right side them, and have Mitch stuck around and they carried that. I think they would have been just as big, but obviously that tragedy happened and it just changed its course. But I don't know, man. It's exciting to hear like that Nine Dead band, like, because that
Mm-hmm.
was just really refreshing to me. That was
Mm-hmm.
definitely exciting. Some of the other things that catch my interest that I still don't think I fully understand, but have like this curiosity to scope them out more, is like that the super fast pace. It's like it's almost just trying to capture extremities. It's borderline ridiculous, but for some reason I'm still finding myself going to the music videos like that Larcinia Row and what's that other band? Disembodied Tyrant. Like,
Oh yeah.
because it's just so mind boggling. Just like,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck is going on? So I don't know. I think that's kind of fun. I'm really interested to see where those bands go and take that. I don't know that I'm quite on board with what they're doing right now, but I think that they have something that could be really cool in the future come out and
Mm-hmm.
shit. So, yeah, man. It's I don't know. I remember just saying on an episode last week or two ago, like, yeah, I don't know if bands will ever be as big as they have been. Like, I know what I was meaning, but at the same time, it's just like, dude, there's always new shit coming out. Like, there's always going to be stuff that comes out and that makes it to the top. So it's kind of foolish to say that, but I'm also just kind of like, find myself listening to the same old bands sometimes a lot too, and I think it's good to refresh the palette and stuff like that, just so to kind of keep up with what's breaking and what everyone else is keeping jamming to these days. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see where it goes, man. But it reminds me of the I think you sent it to me, the post from the Acacia Strain writing new shit, or did I send it to you?
Oh
I can't
yeah, that
remember.
they're writing new music.
Yeah, dude. And like before that, they released a photo of Vince's like reaction to a riff, and like, oh, it just gets me so excited. I was like, yes, man. If they're still having those reactions, it's just crazy, man. Like they are in such a limelight with that band, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's unreal. I love it. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely giddy for that.
Yeah, I do think Acacia Strain is one of the few bands from the old deathcore scene that is still like has not lost its touch. They haven't even missed a beat. They've been carrying it the
Hmm.
entire time. But as a scene as a whole, I think that there has been some lagging. You had Whitechapel kind of going off in its own thing for a while, doing some weird stuff. They're back into more of like a full on deathcore.
Yeah.
Bringing the Horizon. I know they only released the one deathcore album and a couple metalcore ones, but they kind of know more into the core, more of just random shit nowadays. And I remember, and we've complained about it a couple times on this episode on this show. Um, it felt like deathcore for me. It seemed like it was just a lot of newer deathcore bands were just saying, "Hey, I'm going to take this genre and combine it with deathcore." Like you had Black and deathcore for, which is still kind of the big thing a little bit.
Hmm.
Before that, in like the late tens, you had slamming deathcore, which was cool for a while. And I felt like that's where things were going, which was cool. But at the same time, there wasn't a lot of more refreshing stuff coming out in the scene. It felt like it was still just a few bands doing this stuff. You had Brand of Sacrifice and a few other similar bands doing like the electronic deathcore. You had new
Hmm.
metal style deathcore. But what I find more refreshing with these newer batch of bands kind of adding more to where it's not, they're not adding new genres to it. They're really just taking, like for Gates to Hell and Volume 4, just really taking the idea of what deathcore is supposed to be, which is just hardcore punk and death metal, and kind of reimagining it, which I think is very refreshing and fun. Then you also have bands like we could try to just sound like typical deathcore, or we could go to the original and kind of bring that more modern sound. And that
Hmm.
those with the already blackened deathcore, slamming deathcore, then like the icons of deathcore like Acacia Strain and Whitechapel, I think kind of opens it up more to where everything is more fresh, to where I can still listen to deathcore, but still have all this gamut of different stuff to where it is actually more enjoyable. It's not as like there's only this Lawrence Shore's the only thing going on right now kind of thing. There's more open doors to where it can actually stay within the deathcore genre.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, it's exciting. I think it's a good time. Good time for music, man. It's I think it's also tough, there's an abundance of tunes that come out. I mean, shit, this week's playlist was 5 albums.
Mm-hmm.
One was a veteran band, and two, or many of them are big up and comers. So, I mean, it's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Just the amount of shit that's uploaded day to day, man. It's tough, but yeah, man, you gotta dig through it and find that gold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's all I had for the just want to see your views on the state of deathcore because I
Yeah,
still don't feel like it's fully the I feel like it's getting close to the excitement, but it's still not the excitement it was back in the 2000s. Probably the same time you found deathcore as well, to where it feels like,
yeah,
man, I want to find as many deathcore bands as I want. This it was that fresh, exciting feel of just finding these new deathcore bands.
right.
Because I'm sure there's probably a lot of like I know you mentioned Jerome last week. Um,
Yeah,
where were was there any other bands that like kind of captivated you at that time that man, whatever happened to
yeah.
that band kind of thing?
Well, like Oceano for sure, man. They were definitely, and there's a connection with that Jerome band to Oceano because I think that that drummer that was on Oceano's first album was from the Jerome band, if I remember right. But they had like a demo of Samael the Destroyer, and dude, it was just nuts. That blew my mind, man. And so, but it's just like I don't know if it was a draw for extreme, but it just felt like it was more groundbreaking back then,
Mm-hmm.
whereas stuff today it does almost there is kind of this like recycling going on where some of it is has been done before, it's just a little bit different. So I think I'm still waiting to be mind blown,
Mm-hmm.
but I also again don't know if that's just like an age thing and I'm getting into my old man phase where it's just like, they don't make the songs like they used to, you know, sort of deal. So I don't know, man, but I'm always down to check out the new shit. But Oceano, they were definitely one of them. But I've also always kind of been all over the place. Like I remember listening to this like pop punk band. I remember falling in love with the Silverstein song around then. That takes me back to high school. Really big into him in that era. Or I guess that song anyways, really. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm interested, but yeah. Don't make them like they used to.
There's one other piece of metal news that I forgot, and it kind of harkens back to our old days of discovering new bands. This is one of those bands. Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza hasn't officially come out, but they've commented that they are possibly recording Danza 5.
Ah, nice, dude. Oh, I seen somewhere they got mixed up for actually Tony Danza. And I don't remember what it was exactly, but they had to correspond and be like, "Yay, this actually isn't Tony Danza. This is the Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza. We're a band." It's just so funny that they had to clarify that, with the obvious. It's got to be one of the best band names to this day still, I think. Just for that sole reason, they had to clarify the mistake. But that was hilarious, man. Did you see that post? I thought it was so funny.
But I have seen it's on their Wikipedia. I guess back when they first started, they did keep having that issue. Like they would have old people show up to their concerts and just not.
Really? Oh, that's hilarious.
Imagine being a young 17-year-old. You're excited. You're about to play your first show. You look out and there's all these old people waiting to see Tony Danza just do some just.
Oh, dude.
And like you're about to just ruin their night.
Yeah. Holy shit. I couldn't imagine their reactions, man. Oh, it's hilarious. Just a picture. Just some old folks. Oh, that Tony Danza's gonna be. He's gonna be in
Tony
town.
Danza get here? Get this stuff off the stage.
Looks like he's gonna be playing at the Bottleneck. Is that a bar?
Oh, Tony Danza, how you fallen from grace?
Oh man, that's too good. That's hilarious. What a great band. Yeah, I'm excited for that though, dude. For sure.
Hell yeah. It's been a long time coming, and hopefully Josh Travis is involved in it, because I do think his addition made the band even better.
Oh, I think he's got to be, right? Or was he a late addition? I thought he was always there. No.
He's joined the band and started, I think his first album was Danza 3 with them.
Oh, shit. Okay, I didn't even know that. Wow. Yeah, I guess the vocalist is the only long-time member.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you ready to do Strapping Young Lad?
Yeah, dude. Let's do it.
Hell yeah. So Tier Maker doesn't have just a Strapping Young Lad tier maker. Like they only have Devin Townsend albums. And I clicked on one and it was like 30 albums. So I said, fuck that. So I made my own.
Okay.
So
nice.
Here we go. So since this is a band I know that's big for you, I'm going to actually let you drive on this one. If you want to break down how this discography works, you want to introduce the albums as well, I'll let you drive on this one.
All right, man. I was pretty late to Strapping Young Lad, like meaning that I wasn't hip with them when they were dropping stuff, so I came in very late. And I actually picked up their compilation, which is the Chaos Years 94-06 best of, basically. But I loved like every song on it. I was like, man, greatest hits usually don't get me like this. But it was like every song on there was so good. So I had to go through the discography eventually. And obviously that has all the good ones on it, but I think there's something to love about every album, dude. I love the transitions that this band does, and I think it's mostly, a Devin Townsend thing. I think he's the brainchild behind it all. But you have Gene Hoglan on drums, who's an absolutely insane drummer, notable for other big projects, working with them too. But I can't name him off the top of my head, but epic drummer. And I don't really know that he was there the whole time even. I should probably
Yeah, I
look
want to
that up.
say he joined around the city or the self-titled. Yeah,
I
I
think
looked him
that's
up.
right.
I want to say so he is known for being in Dark Angel, Death, and I want to say he's also in Death Clock.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he's like a very prolific drummer.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely is, man. But sick as hell. Oh, okay. So yeah, he was on 4 of the 5 albums. So yeah, he joined. Yeah, I guess you said that right before City. Nice. But yeah, man, this band just is so awesome, dude. I think there's so much going on that's just incredible. Really displays the intelligence of Devin Townsend, I think. I think he's a mastermind, dude. SYL starts out really cool. Very kind of lots of electronic stuff going on, and he does that throughout all their music. But badass band, man, from the get go. I think very catchy too. Devin Townsend's so good at making these very catchy tunes and choruses. But so the first song on the first album, Heavy, has a really really heavy thing. SYL. It's I am a coming of a new. I can't sing it right now, but I am a coming of a new age, and I will never fall. I don't know. It's just so fun to like sing along to, dude. That's super good, and the Rainy Season's awesome too. I could pretty much listen to their albums front to back. And yeah, man, I think it's great. I would give this one an 8.
Okay. Um,
What'd you What'd you think of this one?
I was not super into this one. But I will say, listening to this, I can tell it's very apparent that Devin, he's very in tune. He's a huge metal fan, and a lot of his influences seem to be poking through here. Either he's being influenced by these bands, or these bands were influenced by him. Because I also had a very Static X kind of flavor to some of this, even a
Yeah,
little
for
bit of
sure.
even a little bit of Pantera.
Hmm.
Uh, so for me, I felt like this was the weaker of the 5, but I do think I can see some promise in it. Top
Hmm.
tracks for me, I would probably say COD Metal King, um, and also SYL. Um, they also have the last track on this album, which I remember someone in high school kept talking this band up to me, and I always want. This is a band I kept hearing about from this my buddy, but I never checked him out until years later. And he was always talking about this one song. And I finally listened to it doing this. And I don't understand why he saw it as such a big deal. And that was Satan's Ice Cream Truck. And I was more
Yeah.
annoyed with this song than anything. But the rest of the album I think is good. Well, I think it's pretty good, but I do think this is one of the weaker ones in my opinion. But I will say Cod Metal King and SYL were standout tracks. I'm probably gonna give this one a 7.
Okay.
What was yours again?
Nice. 8.
Okay, so we got 15. All right.
Nice. Up next, City. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not '07. I need to do my wiki.
I think 1997. That's what, because it looks like there's 2
Yeah, that's
versions.
right. Yeah, this is a remaster. Yeah, so '97. That's the thing, man. And like, I feel like the tunes that he was dropping for the time, like, holy shit, were just beyond their years. Like,
Mm-hmm.
these albums still all hold up in my opinion, dude.
Oh
I
yeah.
think he was so ahead of his time. And like, yeah, it doesn't really, it's not like crazy poetic lyrical content here, but I think he makes up for it in how he phrases what he says. It's very singable, just epic as hell sounding too. He's got not just stellar riffage, but a stellar voice, man.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not one bad song on this album, in my opinion, either. It opens up super cool, Velvet Kevorkian, which is kind of their Velvet Kevorkian, which is kind of this just like almost intro song that just kind of is like upbeat, and then it kicks into the next song, All Hail the New Flesh, which is just a fucking just banger, dude. I just imagine that tearing up a pit in live,
Mm-hmm.
super epic, big chanty feel. I just imagine it would tear up a crowd, dude. I would love to see that live. And then, oh my fucking god, I think is super catchy too. It's just really all these songs, man. Detox, Home Nucleonics, Room 429 it's interesting, but it's catchy, but kind of weird. It's just, I think that's just Devin Townsend weird, but I think I would give this one a 9.
Okay. So for me, this one I do think is a big step up. I listening to this it hasn't fully clicked with me yet. However, with this one, I will say I was blown away by so like you said, this is 1997. This and I listening to this album, I can see exactly why Lamb of God wanted him to help record their album. Because even though there's a lot of craziness going on, the production on this is top notch. Everything is super clear, super well done. So I want to say it's Oh My Fucking God that has kind of like almost like laser kind of sounds going on.
Yeah.
And it's super clear. Even though everything's crazy, you can literally just pick an instrument and hear it perfectly clean. Even with the nasty tone that he has on his guitar, it still sounds very good. For me, the top songs would probably be Detox, All Hail the New Flesh, mostly because I love that
Nice.
song title. Because it makes me, I want to say it's also in the Visceral Disgorge song, Architects of Warping Flesh, which I guess is also references some old horror movie. But I love that.
Oh, okay.
I love that. And Detox. And also Room 429, I guess it's a cover because it says cover version. But
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah, I've seen that too.
what was fucking me up was like it sounded like how he was like singing it. I thought he would took because it sounds like it's the same like cadence as the
Uh-huh.
Sound of Silence, but he just makes up his own words. Because I don't know what Room 429 is. I don't know if it's in what the original is, but it almost has the same cadence as Sound of Silence. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, I can see that.
I do like
I
this
guess
one a lot better. What's up?
I guess this says it was a noise rock group founded in New York. Cop Shoot Cop
Huh.
is room 429.
Hmm.
Huh. Interesting.
But yeah, this one I do think there's some good songs. It's still not still not fully clicking, but I'm gonna give this a pretty good rating because of how well produced this is. I do think, like you said, Devin's musical genius kind of comes through, especially in the production. He knows exactly how he wants to sound. And honestly, I think he might be the reason why there was a shift in good production in metal. Because I feel like, especially in 1997, I think of like bands like Death. My main
Mm-hmm.
issue with Death's recordings is everything kind of sounds flat, to where this sounds very textured. I can hear everything very well. It makes it more interesting. So for that, I'm probably going to give this one an 8.5.
Nice.
Yeah. What's next?
Up next, we have the self-title, I guess, or SYL
Yep.
in 2003. So a bit of a break. But this album, dude, again, in my opinion, doesn't disappoint. I don't know that the songs are as heavy as some of the others on other albums, but I still really like this one, dude. My favorite tracks: Relentless, Aftermath. Um, it's a good one, man. I really dig it, but it's probably not my top Strapping Young Lad album. So I think I would probably give this one an 7.8.
Okay. For me, this is where everything kind of clicked.
Okay.
Everything kind of made sense for me, especially just right out the gate. Because I feel like it can start off very fast with like the intro track of Dire, then right into Consequence and Relentless. I felt something about that. It was like a bam, bam, bam for me. And I felt like, okay, this is clicking with me. It's aggressive. I really enjoyed it. Even the weird choice of title for the fourth song of Rape Song. Um, then also Devour. I also loved Force Fed. Um, and I even want to say in song Force Fed, there's even a part which kind of goes back to my theories where I think he would be a perfect replacement if the singer James Labrie left Dream Theater. Because in Force Fed, there's a part which sounds almost exactly like a Dream Theater vocal run. I really enjoyed this one. I think this is where everything kind of clicked for me, and I started very much enjoying actual like individual songs, not just the production, but like, oh, this is an awesome song. This is an awesome song. Um, so for me, I'm probably gonna give this slightly more than I gave The City. So I'm probably gonna give
Okay.
this an 8.7. What was yours again? 7 point.
7.8.
Ah, fuck. Um, 16.5. Ooh, we got a tie.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Is that no? That'd be 16.5.
Oh, okay.
There we
Yeah,
go.
it's catchy.
Yeah.
Up next, we got the almighty Alien. Drops in 2005, 2 years later. This album is huge, man. And I think just absolutely epic, for the biggest reason and most obvious is the song Love. I think this is Strapping Young Lads comparable to like Bleed by Meshuggah. I think if you're not a fan of Strapping Young Lad and you want to like them, go listen to Love. If you don't like Love, you probably don't like Strapping Young Lad. But I think it's the epitome of what this band is, how heavy they can get, and how catchy they also are. I think the singing's flawless. It's just a perfect song, man. But not only that, this album, dude, it just starts out super badass. One of my favorite songs is the opener, Imperial. It's super like gets real black metal, super blasty, very symphonically dark. Um, very cool intro track, man. And right into Skeksis, another great one. Shitstorm, absolute chaos in that song. Love and Shine, Reride, Possessions. Front to back, I think it's great, man. Zen, oh, I think that's an awesome song too, man. Super catchy, constant ride. I love this album, man. I think that this is my Strapping Young Lad 10.
Okay. This was also my favorite album that I listened to doing this. This was, in my opinion, it had what I thought Alien was going to be, or not Alien, what I thought The City was going to be, because I heard a lot of praise about that one. That is what Alien was for me. I thought this was exactly what I would expect. Like the production of City with the songs I liked from the previous album all rolled up into one. This is, I do think, their best and probably perfect album. Obviously, Love. You got Shitstorm. You got We Ride. You have 2 Weeks. Not an All That Remains cover, but an actual Strapping Young Lad song. This is a pretty awesome album, and I do think everything comes together. I do think I'm not a fan of the last song, Info Dump, but looking into like how it came about, I do find it more interesting because I guess that's where he got interested in like math equations and how it somehow fit into his music, which he kind of used for
Hmm.
other future stuff. So I find that kind of interesting. And also,
Is
I
there
looked at
a is there a secret track in there? Isn't it just like constant like noise?
noise and
And
there's like
is there
Morse code and I want to say
okay?
that it sounds like some kind of conversation of some kind. It's
Yeah.
almost 12 minutes of just pretty much that.
Oh, okay. I was thinking there was
Although
like a track in it, but I can't remember.
I don't remember. I want to say that's all there is, but I had it on at work trying to focus on it too, but at the same time I was like, well, this sounds like a lot of just randomness.
Yeah.
Um, but I also looked into when I was looking at the Wikipedia, I guess so um right before this, I guess he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and he didn't really fully agree with that diagnosis. And right before while recording this album, he decided to stop taking his medication,
Oh
which kind of
wow.
led to a more kind of crazier, aggressive, but also just kind of weird album, which I think does kind of add to the intensity and kind of almost like a panic attack kind of a feel in some of these songs. So I
For sure.
appreciate that even more. I'm not recommending if you are a recording artist to do something like that. Don't cause harm to
Yeah.
yourself. But it did make their best album. So
Yeah.
for that
Very true.
in strapping young lad terms, I probably will give this a 10 because it is. If I had a vision for strapping young lad, this would be the perfect album. So I
Yeah,
will
dude.
also probably give this a 10.
Nice.
Nope.
Hell yeah. And then lastly, we have The New Black. And this was the last release from the Strapping Young Lad. And this was just a year after, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then but yeah, honestly, dude, it's still really up there for me. It's weird in how I feel like the vibe change correlates with the album cover. Like it's not typical that you see a prominently white cover like metal album. You know, usually you expect like black dark covers. I don't know. But I feel like it's like the white album cover and it's almost kind of a switch up. And I guess I speak for that because or I connect that to this track Almost Again, which I think is the prettiest one of the prettiest songs that Devin Townsend's released. But it's just interesting because it's still a metal song. But like the singing in it is so pretty, I think, and he hits like these climactic, like epic moments in it with his screams, and it gets heavy. And I love that song, dude. I love that song. But other songs that are really good on here are You Suck. I think I read that that song was basically written to pretty much get a crowd going. And I think states that it works. It's the ultimate, like, fucking pump you up song. Which I can imagine, it just being totally fun to chant. It's super ridiculous, but I think it's super fun. Like, it's almost kind of like the comical side of Devin Townsend, I think, bleeding through into the music.
Mm-hmm.
But Anti-Product, that's another good one. And then Wrong Side. I love Wrong Side, man. I think that's an awesome tune also. But what'd you think of it, man?
I do like it. I don't think it lives up to what Alien was. And
Hmm.
also what I was reading, because it sounded like so I guess when he originally signed the record deal with Century Media, he promised them 5 full albums. But I guess
Hmm.
after the first 2 albums, he realized he got fucked over in the contract. So with this only being a year later, it almost feels like maybe he put out this album just to say it's done because he already planned on ending the band anyway. But even if that is the case, this is still very strong. Just finish a contract album. Uh,
Hmm.
Still
For
has pretty
sure.
good songs like Anti-Product, You Suck again, that you brought up because it does. It almost feels like even looking at the lyrics, it just feels like almost like it reminds me of Tool's song, Hooker with a Penis, where he's talking
Yes.
about meeting a fan and he just says, "You guys suck now. You guys aren't what you used to be." That's what the vibe I get with this, but it does lyrically, but it does get you going. Um,
For sure.
you get Far Beyond Metal, which I feel is kind of like a fuck you to the record label as well. So I do kind of like that whole like I'm still gonna put out good music, but I'm also gonna tell my record label who's making me write this to go fuck themselves kind of thing. I like that kind of like that punk rock attitude a little bit. You also got the
Yeah.
song you got the song "Fucker," which I feel like is very much in tandem with Far Beyond Metal.
Yeah.
So even though it is at least timeline wise, and also how he's been very vocal about that contract, it does seem like a end of contract. But for an end of contract, this is a pretty damn good one.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna give this one an I'll do a 9.2.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I think I would do a 9 on that one.
Okay. So we got an 18.2. All right. All right. So there we have it. Number
Nice.
one with the perfect 20, we have Alien. Number two with an 18.2, we have The New Black. Number three, we have The City with a 17.5. Number four, Self-Titled with a 16.5. And number five with a solid 15, we have Heavy as a heavy, really heavy thing. I think is that what's really heavy thing?
Yep.
Yeah. How do you feel about this ranking? Do you agree with this?
I think I agree, man. I dig it.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
really, really hoping for that strapping young lad reunion, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. I think it would be super sick if it did, but I'm pretty sure he throws out strapping young lad covers at his Devin Townsend project band shows, whatever the hell it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
It would be nice if they just did like one, like even a couple festivals, kind of like Slayer does
yeah,
from time to time. Because I understand,
yeah, if
like,
they toured like did a tour of the Chaos Years, like their best of compilation disc, just play that, dude. Oh, that would be so sick. That'd be so cool.
because they don't even necessarily have to make new music. I mean, I feel like the core members is really just was Devin and Gene, even though I
Yeah.
guarantee Devin probably wrote everything, but just having Gene Hoglan there, just tour with
Yeah.
it. I think you get. I know money's not a big thing for him. He probably doesn't care about that, but I do think that would he have a huge draw, crazy concerts, probably sold out.
Oh,
If Strapping
yeah.
Young Lad just did like even just a North American run, or even just a couple of tour or festival performances, I think it would do great.
I think you're right, dude. I would definitely go.
But yeah, I might
Oh,
not
yeah.
have been a super big Strapping Young Lad fan, but now listening to everything, it does make more sense, and I would probably go back to probably Alien and New Black. Might even recheck out The City now that everything has fully clicked for me, because it
Mhm.
did take a little bit, but I do see the enjoyment because I do think the wackiness with the heavy kind of threw me off, but after a while you get used to
Mhm.
it because you realize after finding out he was suffering mental issues or mental health problems from time to time, it does make things make more sense. So I do think it
Yeah.
kind of adds to it a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just I don't know, man. That dude, it always feels genuine. Like it's crazy. It can kind of be quirky in times, but I think, for the most part, this dude is just being his wacky ass self. And I
Hmm.
think he has really good skills at doing that, as far as coordinating that in the production and shit like that. And I think he's a musical genius, man. I really
Hmm.
do. I've always been a fan of this dude. Always probably will. So um, please do a reunion tour, Strapping Young Lad. That would be really sick.
Yes.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
man. So who's next? Who's on the chopping block?
Um, I have a lot of names. Some are similar.
Okay.
Most of them we've named before, but I have one brand new one that I thought of this morning. So
Okay.
we have Suicide Silence,
Ooh.
Carnifex,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Slayer,
Oh, nice. They're a good
and
contender.
one, I keep forgetting about this band, but I do think it would be fun to do. I don't remember how many albums they have, but I know you've probably listened to them. Children of Bodom.
Oh, okay. I definitely have, man. They were a band that was around in high school and stuff. Damn. Okay. Wow. That's quite a medley there. We got a lot of
Yes.
different stuff going on. Um, but I'm kind of digging these vibes right now. I say let's do it. Suicide Silence.
Hell yeah.
I've been waiting for this one, man.
And we all know what number one's going to be. It's going to be the self-titled, right?
Yeah. Hey, can we get that one still? Because I'd really like to throw it in the ranking. Is it out there?
Which one?
Or the hee hee one?
Yeah, that's still on. I'm pretty sure. I don't
Is
think they
it?
took it down.
I thought that they like got rid of it because it was so bad.
I don't think they play in the songs. I would hope not.
Okay. Which one is it? Let me see. I'm looking on. Is that the 2017 one?
Was it that reason? I think yeah, it might be 2017. Yeah, 2017. Still there.
What was that song called?
Doris.
Okay. I feel bad for shitting on him before we're going into this.
It's alright. It's just that one album. I mean,
True.
we'll have different opinions on other albums, but I think we can collectively agree how we feel about that one.
Yeah. What is this rare ass shit?
I think that's kind of like, remember when Korn released that Live and Rare album? I think
Okay.
it's just kind of like stuff like that.
Okay. I didn't realize they had so much live shit. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, man, this will be fun, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
because I am kind of slightly interested in which, because I feel like it's going to be torn between two albums for me, of which would be number one. But,
Really? Oh, I know my number one. Faux show.
all right. I don't know, because it.
Self.
Oh, self-titled.
Yeah. No.
And I don't really
Uh,
think I've listened to that much of the newer stuff.
I haven't either, man. I gotta say, this is actually going to be the first time that I listened to the self-titled album.
I remember listening to it a couple times, like maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe it's a slow burn. No, it's.
Yeah.
We'll get to that though. We'll get to that next
Yeah, I
week.
guess so. Yeah. Nice,
Yeah.
man.
Do you have anything else to add for this week, or are we ready for plugs?
I don't think so, man. Plug it.
All right. Well, if you enjoyed us this week, you should check out our other weeks. We have plenty of back catalog, but you can also, in the meantime, you can also check us out on Facebook. You can check us out on TikTok or anywhere else you get your podcast. But yeah, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, all those places. You can also check emails directly at deathmetaldays@gmail.com.
Nice.
You can check out our sponsors, Dalton's installation thing.
Oh yeah, Deer Duff Insulation. Make sure to hit us up for all your insulation needs. We fill every crack and crevice, guarantee. And yeah, man, I think that's all I got. I'm back on the Rogue pouches. I was gonna say Velo, but I went back to Rogue because the Velo were fucking up my teeth, making me feel all kind of malnourished and stuff in my mouth. It's weird.
Getting a little bit of that scurvy feel.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah. Give it up for the sponsors, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Until then, you can check out all that, but we will see you guys all next week. If you have any, just like McQuingus did, you can send us a message, recommend one of your buddies' bands or a band that we might have missed that you think we should check out. we'll review it. Just let us know. Yeah. Till then,
Shout out
Death
to
Metal-
McWingus.
McQuangus forever. Death Metal Daddies out. The UK, mate.
Good day, mate.
Just
Nice.
11s, boys.
Oh, and this is from an upcoming release called Where Only the Truth Is Spoken. I don't know. I think that might be going to Australia.